What's up, everybody? Welcome back. So today we have Patreon request Guts, the second Patreon request for Guts. So I got like 2 requests for Guts in like nearly in a row. So popular character with the patrons. So this is one of the most famous panels from that manga, right? So it's when he's like after taking off that armor and he's all torn up, right? So lots of hatching in this, so I'll kind of keep it a bit simple and we'll try and convert it to a more anime-ish, right, style. So I'm on a landscape page. Use pencil and eraser and hit pause if I go too fast. So center point of my page is about here. We're just going to come up and this is where we're going to do his eye. So it's a 3/4 pose. Lots of different ways to start 3/4 poses. Some people, you know, sometimes I start with the nose and then, but I just like the look of his eye. So I'm going to start with the eye in this one. So top eyelid first. So we go diagonal and then across like that. So you can kind of thicken this up a little bit. And then there is some small eyelashes, right, sticking down. Bottom eyelid then. So we can see like some of his tear duct and a real slender eye line, right? So real thin. This is all drawn in real sort of roughly and stuff. Well, carefully, but like really quick. You can tell that the artist was moving, you know. And then his iris. And pupil. Just in there. And if you want, you know, some lines like so. So he's in bits, right? So he's got all these stress lines around his eye. And some bottom eyelash lines as well. Right, kind of like that. Top eyelid line up and over. Like so. And then the eyebrow, so a really big eyebrow, really. So like starts here, right? It's kind of like furry at the front, and then it'll cut right back this way, close to the eyelid, up underneath its hair. So we'll just go up here somewhere because we can't really see the end of it. So we'll just bring it back then, and it's real hairy. And we've got a center line for his eyebrows, and then texture lines that go this way on top, and then the opposite direction on the bottom. Like that, okay? And again, so he's all these scars and stuff. We'll just get the main features in first before we do that, right? And just adding some texture here. So down from here we have his nose, right? The bridge of his nose and his eyebrow. So bridge of his nose kind of here. Okay, and then his nose curves down. And around. It meets his nostril, right? So his nostrils are like here. And they're all drawn in, right? So there's lots of details here now. So nostrils sort of drawn in there. And the other side comes around this way. There. And then he has actually drawn in like the tip of his nose. So we have, but it's done with sort of hatching lines like this. And there's lots of this stuff, but I won't be able to draw it all in. Like that. And then his other nostril is like here. And that's drawn in then as well. So it's like darker inside here. So nostril on this side, and around this way. This is all drawn in lightly with sort of hatching, right? So it's not, it's just kind of sketched in like this. I'll make some hatching down here and underneath the nose. And then the side of his nose kind of goes up this way. And like when you're drawing like the bridge of his nose, like the bone is here. Right, and then all on the side is just like hatching lines. Just going up this way, right? Kind of like that, so like a real big sort of nose, like so. Maybe some more just hatching there. Right, so do the other eye. So the eyebrow, again, so real hairy. Now smaller because we're in 3/4 pose, right? So that means like this eyebrow doesn't go as far. So it just goes to about there, and then kind of spikes off, comes back. Right, and then we'll have this center line again. And then sort of hatching on the bottom going this direction. And then this side going this way. Like that. And then the side of his face will come down from the eyebrow here. And then go down this way. Now his face is all torn up here. We'll just get that cheek drawn in first. And his eye is closed here. So what we can see of it, just down from this closed eye. This kind of thing. You just thicken this up and make it look like kind of eyelashes. Right. And you'll have a sort of an eyelid line. Just there. And like all his skin is torn here, so we can't really see. We just add some texture. Like that, right? So, side of his face comes down here, and it's got like tears, it's got like just bits of flesh torn off, like going down this way, right? And then we kind of bump out for where his mouth would be, kind of there, and then we go down to his chin. He's got a real square chin. It goes kind of underneath a fang there, but that's like the general shape, right? And if you notice, like this space, the eyebrow to the nose is about the same as bottom of the nose to the chin, right? So like here to here, about the same as there to there, just if you're wondering proportion wise. And his mouth then is in here. So the bottom lip will be halfway. So between the bottom of the nose and the bottom lip, you know, bottom lip will be about here. So let's go mouth up. This is the middle line now for the mouth. Down. Around like that. It always reminds me of like a stretched out sort of letter M. right? Your bottom lip is like here. So you notice now that bottom lip line halfway between the nose and the chin. So here to here is about the same as there to there. And again, there's some like hatching. There's like all blood coming down from here. But we'll draw that. We'll draw all those things in at once. And then his top lip line, so it comes out from here. We'll like go up, curve down, up and down again. He's got some hatching here on the top lip. It's always kind of a good idea to put hatching on the top lip. And then another sort of line coming down from his nose. Maybe shadow underneath his chin there. Anyway, so right, so then his chin and his jaw, so he's got a real square chin. So this goes under a certain spike, but his jaw like comes back. It's hard to see, but his jaw will go underneath there, kind of come out this way. These real sort of Arnold Schwarzenegger kind of features. So I probably have to raise that anyway, but real big chin. Because he's got these spikes and stuff that come across. Right, so he's got like a long sideburn and an ear, right? So the sideburn is about here. And then that becomes his ear, basically. So his ear turns around here, down to the earlobe. And then inside, so lines on the inside, right? So this, and again there's some hatching and stuff. Inside. And then we add more hair. So he's got like loads of hair spikes coming across his face here. Just coming across his brow. Like this. And then we just keep going. So we'll add the hair spikes all the way around his head. Remember, hair moves. It doesn't have to be exactly like mine. Just once you get the sort of spiking, sort of directional lines. It kind of changes direction here. Behind his neck, and like, so he's got some kind of sticking off there, and then his neck will go down that way. So he's got like a white patch, like a gray patch on his hair as well. So this kind of comes down this way. You just got to draw that in just to separate it. It's roughly here, so this is like all gray and stuff. And then there's like a part of his hair somewhere here. Like that. Right, so it's like I'm on a landscape page, right? But we can't see, it's a portrait of him, right? So you can't see basically outside of this part of the image. But I'll draw in whatever I can sort of fit, right? So we've got these sharp teeth of the armor sort of there, and then the other side will go down, up, down. So as I said, some of this goes across his chin. So if you go across, you can just erase afterwards. Another one goes up there. And it stops. It stops here, so I can't see any further than that section. Okay, that's as far as I can go. And then, so we got some like other areas inside here, like a ridge there, and then this will go off that way, off the page, and a line down there. And this is all in shadow in here, so that's all black. You might see some of his neck or something there. I'll just erase that line. Right, and then, so some more armor lines and stuff. So this goes up this way. And it goes like around his shoulder. Disappears here. But I imagine it kind of comes down this way somewhere. And then another sort of shoulder armor line. Here and up. And it goes off that way a little bit. And there, and then these have all directional lines on them, like so. And you know, there's like some hatching on these sides. There's hatching on all sides, but I'll just do one side just so we don't. Right, and then like, so it is, so there's all this, these lines all over sort of the armor, right? So like all these kind of directional lines. Kind of like that. So, and like there's way more, but I'll just like shade it sort of with color. I'll do like dark gray and stuff. And just more of these lines on this. Right, so now all this blood and scars and things. So I'm just gonna like add these sort of jaggedy sort of lines coming down his face. His face is like completely torn up here. Right, like that, and it comes down from his, like underneath his eye. And like even around the top of his eye here. It looks like, I mean, it's done with hatching, so I'm just kind of interpreting it. This is like blood, maybe. Right, and sort of like coming down from his mouth as well, like all this blood and stuff here. And like a piece of like skin maybe torn off here. And some blood coming down from his eyebrow. Right, so now what we have to do is add lots of like sort of scratch lines and scar lines and stuff inside. And like he's like lots of sort of dirt and dots, and he's like completely destroyed, so I'll try and simplify it as best as I can. There's a neck muscle line there I missed. Like he's like, there's blood even coming from his ears and stuff here. Right, but I think that's the best I can do. I hope it was helpful. So it's like all red and stuff inside those. I'll probably color those like that. So there he is, Guts, the man himself. Hope it was helpful. Thanks for watching. Anyone else has Patreon requests or anything like that, head over if you can afford it, and I'll get right on it. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.